And we're back. I am just excited and elated about what's going on in the life of the people of God. And I told you all in the onset that God is in the season of miracles. So what we decided to do with this show is to make sure we talk to some of the saints here at Ezion Fair who God has certainly given a miracle to. And today we have our Sister Darlene, our Deaconess Darlene Jones, and Deacon Berman Jones. Darlene has been a member of this church for over 36 years. Deacon Jones just became a member about the last 8, 9, 10 years because he was wayward and he didn't want to come on in, but he started showing up to church every so often, and I kept telling Sister Darlene, hey, chill, he's going to come in when the Lord says so. And when the Lord said so, he came in with all his might, and he has done a phenomenal job with not only being a member, but one of our starch supporting deacons here at the church. Well, today we are here because I really want to talk to you all about what the Lord has done for Brother Berman. I remember it was during the opening part of the whole COVID-19 situation, and no one knew what was going on, and we were just trying to figure it all out, what's happening, and Berman took ill. I remember some of the story how Autumn, your youngest daughter, was giving him a facial to try to pull out of him some of the cold that she thought was really in him, and then all of a sudden he passed out and had to get the ambulance to come, and that's all, and it seems like everything just broke crazy. We were waiting to see what's going on, praying and asking God, and things turned for the worse, as we can just tell the truth. It turned for the worse, because whenever a person is induced into a coma, it just don't know what the outcome is going to be. But thanks be to God, God brought us victory. Sister Darlene, before I get into Brother Berman, because I definitely have a lot I want to talk to him about today, I just want to say to you, congratulations. I watched you as your pastor. There were times you just would fall apart. You would fall apart. And when I got the call that something happened with Berman, I said, oh Lord, I need 4 people to go with me because she's just going to fall apart. But you shocked me because you have grown in grace. You were able to stand strong. So I wanted to say to you first, congratulations on your growth in the Lord. And I believe your prayers is why your husband is still here today. Brother Berman, Mr. Berman, Mr. Yes. Brother Berman. I got to say it that way because Brother Berman is so serious most of the time. Listen, after all that happened, is there any moments during the time that you were going through that you can remember? Is there anything you can remember while you was going through?
Nope, that's the only thing. The only thing I remember. I remember getting in the ambulance.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Wow.
And getting to the hospital, and right after that, it was really fake.
It was really fake?
Yeah.
And I remember one time we were all at your house. And while we were at your house, they had, before you went into the coma, they had let your wife talk with you, and you was saying that something about you was hungry for something. You wanted something. Was it something like you wanted to eat something, and you were saying I want
pickles.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, because I thought that you were pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. And you I remember hearing you say or heard you said that you wanted some pickles. Can you remember that scenario at all?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay.
I said you was with Deacon Allen.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember you said, was you pregnant? You asked him for pickles. Yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah. But this is during the time, saints, when there was a very cloud of mystery as it relates to whether or not all the things that he would remember, because just to give you a little background on what happened beyond the house and getting to the hospital, the doctors was on the phone. They were very kind. I want to say hats off to all of the Christiana care workers. You are truly heroes. But so much was going on, and the doctors were giving Sister Darlene, hour by hour calls, and the most devastating time, I think, was when they said, well, we're going to have to induce him into a coma to keep him still. In my head, I would not show it, but I kept saying, this is not good, this is not good. And Darlene was asking, Pastor Curry, you think he's going to be all right? And because I did not sense any death or anything, I said, listen, we're going to pray, we're going to trust God, and we're going to believe that God is going to just do it. And I saw, even on you, Sister Darlene, how you were able to just start relaxing but yet you still had that tense. Like, I want him to be all right. I want him to be all right. I remember one time, one funny moment when you started talking to his picture. I didn't understand that too much. Well, what were you talking to the picture for?
I didn't hear that one.
What I did, just, it was the picture, but the picture was God. I'm looking at his picture, but I'm saying, Lord, fix this.
Amen. She had some pictures of when Berman was a good-looking man on the wall, and he was really good-looking at that time. And she was talking to it, and I agree with you. The Lord, fix it. I need you to fix it. And I believe He heard you, even during that moment when you were praying and asking God. And so the doctors tell us that he's going to be in a coma, and at one point something dropped. Do you remember what that was?
His oxygen. He had already he had maxed out one machine, and his kidney, his oxygen, just everything was just, it was as if that I was living a dream. And every time I got the report, I just couldn't believe that what I was hearing. But I think I was nervous about it, but then I kept saying, if I'm nervous about it, then that means that I don't trust God. So then when I get that feeling, I thought about what Autumn kept saying, Mom, your prayer has to line up. It has to line up. And so when that happened and everything started dropping, all I could do was pray. I just truly, throughout the whole time, scripture, prayer, and just everyone I never knew that everybody just loved on us the way that they did. So it was just something, just seeing everybody, how God just used everybody to be able to help you through that. It's just like you just never know just who's going to come to you at the time that you need it. And you didn't need anything financial, you didn't need anything, just sometimes just to hear a word. Just an encouraging word. I couldn't watch TV. All that I watched the whole time was Martin, because I couldn't watch the news. I couldn't watch the news. I watched Martin. I watched anything just funny, But just all I could do was pray and word.
Amen. Pray and read your word. And the Bible says the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And I think as you watched God moving, you didn't know what He was doing, but you knew what you didn't want Him to do.
Right.
Amen. And you began to reach out and ask people to covenant with you. And I'm glad to hear that people did, and they responded the way they did. I'm also, I'm always looking for the humor moment. I didn't know that you was watching Martin, because there's a lot of scenes that I would like to remember that will help get you through a storm that you were going through. Berman, now that you are out of it, okay, we're going to come back. I'm going back and forth, but now that you're out of it, how do you feel?
Well, just like my friend Jay Cobwell, what's that song he sings? I have some good days and I have some bad days.
Yes.
But I'm not going to complain, because I'm living, I'm breathing.
Yes.
And I thank everybody for their prayers, the church, and I just thank God. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here.
Yes. And I agree with you. The good days, the bad days, but at the end of the day, but you look good, you're stronger, and you're much stronger than even doctors probably anticipated, because knowing the state that you were in, to be able to walk, you're driving. As a matter of fact, you get on me all the time because you're one of the people who drive me, and you was like, well, why didn't you call me? I was like, because I want you to rest. But the reality of it is you are doing so much. You walk me over to the gym every Sunday. There is so much to be grateful for. And that's probably why we can't complain. I watch on the 5 a.m. prayer time. You're on the call. You're there with us, and we are grateful to God for what He has done. Sister Darlene, I wonder, how are you feeling? We don't talk to the caretakers as much as we talk to the miracle. And I want to use this moment. Just how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Well, I feel fine. I feel good. I feel really just so blessed. But I think sometimes I just try to keep protecting it, just trying to make sure you're okay. And I think that I get on his nerve with it.
Let me help you. It does.
It does. Yeah. Somebody
Yeah.
told me, Donnie, you have to stop. He has to go ahead and keep going. And so one day one day he was just looking like he was just moping. I said, so Sandra said, okay, back off, let him handle it, and he did fine.
Yeah.
But I'm doing great. I cook every day. We prepare really good meals for him. That's, low salt and all that. Doing the best that we can with that. I feel fine.
Good.
I feel truly blessed and feel good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you a very funny scenario, some situation that happened as soon as we come right back. God bless you. And we're back. You just heard Sister Darlene share with you all that she was overprotective of her boo during the time when he had come out of this and after God had given the miracle. And it was just something that happened that was so funny that I just want to just share with you all and have Berman to tell about it. One day I get a phone call when Berman snuck out because he just could not let his wife know that he was, as we call it, out because she wouldn't let him go anywhere. So Berman, tell me a little bit about what happened.
Well, I have these, all the doctors coming to the house telling me they want me to move, they want me to do this, they want me to do that, they don't want me to just not do nothing, anything. So I always wait for Darlene, you're going to do this, Darlene, but she's working, And I just got tired of that, just waiting, and I like doing things myself. I'm used to doing, I just can't wait for nobody to, what is it called, depend on anybody.
Right.
So one day she's at work, and I just said, I'm going for it. So I got up and I snuck downstairs. Well, yeah, I snuck downstairs, went, opened up the garage door, but I did everything in sequence. I mean, like I would stop just to make sure she didn't hear me do that, then I would move a little further and stop, And I just got in the car, and when I started up, I said, this is Dick, she's gonna hear that. So I got a wheel and took off. And I thought she would call me on the phone, but she didn't. But when I got back, I heard it.
You heard it, yeah. I guess she had to say, Lord, he's in your hand now, right?
She did. And when I got back, she got on the phone, told everybody, do you believe what he did? He did this and all that.
Yeah, I thought that was just so amazing because he was really, and Berman is not a person who depends on anyone. He's really independent, and I knew it would be a challenge. I remember also when I brought you over the thermometer, he called me up and said, she's killing me with this thermometer that she bought, and she just naming all of this stuff. And we went and got him a thermometer where they could just not even touch him hardly, and he was just so thankful to God that they were able to take his temperature. It was really some laughter and some great moments that happened after the Lord performed the miracle in your life. Berman, I am just excited. Go ahead.
No, she pressed that thing on my forehead. And like you said, you don't have to touch the person, but I always end up with circles on my face.
Yeah, see that? See? But she wanted to make sure he got you.
Yes.
Even though the thing says, keep a little distance, he felt like, no, I want to touch him because I want to make sure. I'll tell you another funny moment is when Darlene was at the house one day we were there, and we had just made some food and waiting for the doctors to do. And Darlene is in there, she's talking. She said, Lord, when you do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And one of the things, I'm going to put her on camera on this one, one of the things she promised God she was going to do is that she going to retire so she can spend time with her husband, because her husband want to travel. He been saying he want to travel. He done retired, making all the big bucks now, and he wants her to retire, but Darlene too is a very independent person. And she kept saying, I'm going to do it. And her daughters were saying, no, you're not, Mom. Yes, I am. I see now. I see the value. The question to you, Sister Darlene, have you retired?
I haven't retired yet,
Okay.
because I'm not at the age yet, but I'm looking into it.
Yeah, when you was talking to God, you didn't care about your age. You just said, I'm retired, so I can spend time with my husband.
Right.
Did she tell you we was going on trips or
Yeah,
something?
trips after trip. And she said there would be no time that would be wasted at this point. Because we even talked about the fact the house is paid for, the children are out of the house, you got grandchildren. What is the purpose of doing all that hard working for? And she said once he comes through this, because that was the language we were using. We were not using language if, because we knew God would do what he said he would do. And we constantly talked about when. And you said you were going to do it, and I've been waiting for you to do it. But I don't want to put that kind of pressure on you. I know you said you got a couple goals to look at the retirement age and all that good stuff, but I want to make sure that you hold that promise, because I want y'all to enjoy the days that y'all have together. I really want y'all to enjoy them. It's been joy having both of you here today, because later on in the program we're going to bring Autumn. to come, and I'm going to ask her what got in her spirit to call me one night. In the middle of this crisis, she called me and she said, Pastor, I don't know what else to do. I'm encouraging my mom. I'm encouraging myself, my sister. She said, but Pastor, can't we just have prayer and just invite whoever wants to pray to pray? And when she said that, I said, most definitely. And our church is hooked up where we got a prayer line where everybody can call in and pray. And man, wasn't that powerful. Berman, you weren't there.
No,
but let me tell
you,
you missed it. You did. But let me tell you may have missed it in body, but in spirit, you were right there, and the people of God prayed. And I often thank Autumn today. I saw her at praise and worship on Sunday acting crazy out there. But I see the growth of her spiritual being now, where she saw prayer at a different level. I walked away. There was over 300 people on that call, and I walked away saying, "Man, God had to have heard." Even if he didn't hear me, he heard somebody. Because people were just praying, one after another, praying and praying. And it was all throughout, not just here in Delaware, but there was people from various places. You are loved, Brother Berman. There is no need for your head to ever be down. We find out who our friends are when we are in need. And let me tell you, you have a lot of friends. You have people who love you. And I want to say to the audience who are out there watching us today, that God still manufactures miracles. God is still a miracle working God. The purpose for bringing Brother Berman, Deacon Berman on, and Sister Jones on is to say to all of you, you still believe. God still have the power. It's all in your belief. That was the sermon for Sunday. And I was very, very strong in my approach to the message of last Sunday, that you will not be disappointed. When you trust God, you will not be disappointed. So to you, Sister Darlene, is there anything, and it's up to you, that you want to share that will encourage somebody else?
I have this picture. I don't know if I kept showing it to you. There's a picture that I have, and it said, don't let your fears be bigger than your faith. And I kept saying, you know, I knew prayer, and I knew prayer worked, but wow, all those that prayed together, you know, there was a time, and this is short, there was a time when it first happened, I called everybody that I could think of that was connected to me in some kind of way, and all that I wanted was someone to pray with me. And each and every one, even down to my granddaughter, I said, I need you to pray. And so she prayed. I'll call another person, I just need you to pray with me. And they prayed. And so just knowing that prayer answers. Prayer answers.
Yes.
It's real. He's real.
He's real.
Yes,
Amen.
he's real.
If y'all want to, if not only is she done well with responding to encouraging you, but if you want to really get into some good gospel singing, who knows how to bring the message to the song, Sister Darlene is your person. She is she's one of our stars here at Ezion Fair with the singing. And so is old man Berman, because I noticed he got on Black Lives Matter. Can I just say something about that? And she has on, what does your shirt say?
Black is not just a color.
Black is not just a color. He has on Black Lives Matter. And let me tell you something, God certainly honors that, because you know what God did for a black man? He didn't pump him with a lot of bullets. But what he did was, he took time to give us another miracle. I remember one of the prayers that I prayed for Brother Berman was the prayer that Hezekiah prayed. When he looked at the wall, he said, a grave cannot praise you. And I said to God, Berman can't praise you in a grave. But if you give him another chance, he will give you glory. And I remember the Sunday when we opened up down outside in our parking lot. And he sang that song that we were waiting to hear him sing again. What's the name of that song? What does that song go?
God is my everything.
God is my everything. And home brother, he sang it, and you would have thought the parking lot turned into a sanctuary. Leading the pack was Sister Darlene, but God is my everything, and I do believe. Is there anything, Brother Berman, you want to end with today?
Yeah, I just want to say I thank everybody for their prayers. Just thank, and if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here today. God is real. I'm telling you, he is real.
Yes, he is. He's a man of very few words, but we love him dearly, and we appreciate him dearly. And he keeps us on our toes with understanding the heart of God. And I want to say to all of you who are here, we have another segment where we're going to bring in another miracle. But in this COVID season, know that God can deliver you from it if you pray. If you have loved ones who are facing this coronavirus, instead of you falling apart, instead of you feeling like, you know what, I have all hope is lost, know that you've done nothing wrong. It's just something that's in the atmosphere. But when you look to the hills from which come your help, knowing that your help comes from God, God will always see about you. Let me tell you what David said. David said, I once was young, but now I'm old. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor its seed begging bread. And what I have in front of you today is what God will do when you pray. We'll be right back.